Hi everyone, I am Dr. Sigarkanti. In this video, we discuss about convergence, divergence, and oscillation of the sequences, and some results related with convergence of the sequence. Here, we define convergent sequence. That is, a sequence AN is said to be convergent if it tends to a finite limit. A sequence AN is said to be convergent if it tends to a finite and unique limit. Okay. For example, so this is a sequence here 3n plus 4 divided by 5n minus 7. Okay. And if I take the limit of this one, that is taking n common factor here, this will be 3 plus 4 by n. This is 5 minus 7 by n. As n tends to infinity, 4 by n tends to 0, 7 by n tends to 0, and here n gets cancelled. Therefore, we are getting this is equal to 3 by 5. So, therefore, limit of this is equal to 3 by 5, and this is finite, and this is unique. Therefore, we say that this sequence is convergent. What about the divergent sequence? That is, divergent sequence is one which tends to infinity, limit of which tends to infinity, then we say that it is a divergent sequence. For example, this is the sequence here, that is n. N is the sequence, okay, consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that up to infinity. If I take the limit of n as n tends to infinity, this is equal to infinity here. So this tends to infinity, therefore we say that this sequence is divergent. And oscillatory sequence are like this. See, consider this sequence here, minus 1 to the power of n. N is equal to minus 1 to the power of n. If we put n equal to 1, we are getting minus 1. 2, we are getting 1. 3, we are getting minus 1. 4, we are getting plus 1. That means here, this sequence consisting of minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1. This goes up to infinite terms here. So, therefore, here, limit of this minus 1 to the power of n is equal to plus or minus 1. If n is even, then this is plus 1. If n is odd, this is equal to minus 1. Here, this is a finite quantity, but it is not a unique quantity. So, therefore, we say that this sequence oscillates. And here, as this is finite quantity, therefore, we say that this sequence oscillates finitely. This oscillates between minus 1 and plus 1. Okay. And another type of the sequencer oscillates infinitely. Consider this example, minus 1 to the power of n into n. If I take the limit onto this one, this gives plus or minus 1. Okay. As n tends to infinity, this gives plus or minus 1 and this tends to infinity. So, we are getting plus or minus infinity. So, this is either plus 1 or plus infinity or minus infinity. So, we are not getting unique here and this is going to infinity here. Therefore, we say that this oscillates infinitely. The terms of this sequence are lying between minus infinity and plus infinity. Therefore, we say that this oscillates infinitely. One theorem show that every convergent sequence has a unique limit. Okay. Here, let AN be a convergent sequence. We consider let AN be a convergent sequence. I have to prove that limit of this sequence is unique. For that, I will consider its negation. If possible, AN tends to two different limits, say L1 and L2. Okay, if possible, I am considering its negation here. If possible, this sequence tends to two limits, say L1 and L2. And here, if it tends to L1, then that is limit of AN as n tends to infinity is equal to L1. Then by the definition of the limit of a sequence, given epsilon greater than 0, there exists some positive integer m1 such that mod of AN minus L1 is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. Similarly, we have considered L2 is also the limit of this sequence. That is limit of AN as n tends to infinity is equal to L2. In this case again, given epsilon greater than 0, there exists another positive integer, say m2, such that mod of an minus L2 is less than epsilon, and this is true for all n greater than or equal to m2. Now what I do here is I will choose m to be the maximum of these two, m1 and m2. That is, m is greater than or equal to m1, m is greater than or equal to m2. Therefore, now here we can replace this m1 and m2 by m, because m is the maximum of these two. As this is true for n greater than or equal to m1, and m is maximum of these two. So therefore, we can take n greater than or equal to m. Here also we can take n greater than or equal to m. These two are satisfied here. So that is it. If I take, let m be the maximum of m1 and m2, then I can write first one, an minus mod of an minus L1 less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. And mod of an minus L2 is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. Okay. Now we consider mod of L1 minus L2. Here I will write this as mod of an minus L1 minus an minus L2. That means I am adding an and I am subtracting an here, right? Then this is nothing but I am getting minus L1 here plus L2. Both are same here. L1 minus L2, we can write L2 minus L1 because mod is there. In modulus A minus B same as B minus A. Okay. So this mod of two quantities here, I can write this is less than or equal to mod of this plus mod of this. So that is here mod of an minus L1 plus mod of an minus L2. Now what is this mod of an minus L1? It is less than epsilon, plus mod of an minus L2. This is also less than epsilon. So this is equal to 2 into epsilon. Now I will, as epsilon is arbitrary, I can choose 2 epsilon as less than L1 minus L2. I can choose anything here. Okay. As I wish, I can take this epsilon. So in particular, I am taking epsilon is less than L1 mod of L1 minus L2 divided by 2. That means here 2 epsilon is less than L1 minus L2. So I am choosing 2 epsilon less than this one. So finally what I get here is mod of L1 minus L2 is less than mod of L1 minus L2. This is a contradiction here. So therefore we are getting a contradiction here because of our assumption was wrong here. That is there are two limits we have considered. That is wrong here. So that is it. If possible, an tends to two different limits L1 and L2 is wrong. Therefore, an tends to a finite fixed limit. That is a unique limit, right? Next, one more theorem. Show that every convergent sequence is bounded. Okay. What is a convergent sequence? By the definition, given epsilon greater than 0, there is some integer say capital M such that mod of n minus L is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m. And what is a bounded? Bounded means it is greater than, it has both lower bound as well as the upper bound. So that less than or equal to some integer, greater than or equal to some integer, right? So let me consider, let an be a convergent sequence. If it is convergent, then it converges to some finite limit here. The limit of an as n tends to infinity is equal to L. By the definition, given epsilon greater than 0, there exists positive integer m such that mod of an minus L is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. What is the meaning of this here? Mod of an minus L less than epsilon means n lies between L minus epsilon and L plus epsilon. So that is n is greater than L minus epsilon and n is less than L plus epsilon. So that is here n is less than some quantity, n is greater than some quantity. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. What about n less than or equal to m minus 1? For that, I will do like this. Let B be the minimum of A1. The problem here, there is no problem. N greater than or equal to M, okay, no problem. What happens if N is less than or equal to M minus 1? Right? For that. That means A1, A2, A3 up to AM minus 1. What happens here? So that is here I will take B equal to minimum of these quantities. Right? Minimum of these quantities. Here we have an is greater than this and less than this, and I am taking b, small b, as a minimum of a1, a2, a3, am minus 1, and l minus, okay, I'm sorry, here this is l minus epsilon I have to write. Just a minute. Okay. L minus epsilon, right? And then I will take capital B to be the maximum of these quantities. A1, A2, A3, A minus 1. This is also, I write this as L plus epsilon. Okay, L plus epsilon. Now, if n greater than or equal to m, okay, n is less than L plus epsilon and greater than L minus epsilon. And here I have taken small b and capital B to be the minimum and maximum of these quantities. Therefore, I can write n is less than capital B and it is greater than small b. And now this is true for all n. Hence, n is bounded. So, this b is the upper bound here and small b is the lower bound. Okay. One more theorem. If limit of an as n tends to infinity is equal to L, then show that limit of mod n tends to infinity is equal to mod L. So that is if sequence n tends to L, then sequence of mod tends to mod L. So given that limit of n as n tends to infinity is equal to L, okay. Is equal to L. Then by the definition given epsilon greater than 0, there exists positive integer m such that an mod of an minus L is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. Okay. Now I have to show that this tends to this. Therefore, what I need to do here is just I have to show that given epsilon greater than 0, there exists m such that mod of mod an minus mod L is less than epsilon. This I have to prove. So consider mod of mod an minus mod L. We can write this is less than mod of this is less than mod of an minus L, because this is in mod, this is in mod. Therefore, this quantity is less than mod of an minus L. And we have mod of an minus L is less than epsilon here. So therefore, so this minus this is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m, means limit of mod an is equal to mod L. So limit of mod an as n tends to infinity is equal to mod L. Next theorem is, if finite number of terms are removed from a sequence, then the nature of the sequence is not altered. That means here, suppose a given sequence is convergent, then if we remove some finite number of terms from that sequence, then again it is convergent. And suppose a given sequence is divergent, if we remove some finite number of terms from that sequence, then again it is divergent. That is the meaning of this theorem. So let me consider, let an be a convergent sequence. Okay. If n is a convergent sequence, then its limit is equal to finite and unique. Okay. Then by the definition given epsilon greater than 0, there exists positive integer m such that mod of an minus L is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. Now, if first m terms are removed, then the resulting sequence becomes, that I am removing a1, a2, a3 up to am, and I am keeping all these as it is. This is the new sequence here. Okay, this is the resulting sequence after removing first m terms. Then, if I consider mod of am plus n minus L, less than epsilon. And okay, because here this is convergent sequence, therefore if I consider this is less than epsilon, and this is true for all this suffix greater than or equal to m. This is by we have considered that it is a convergent sequence, therefore this must be less than epsilon for all m plus n greater than or equal to m. So hence this sequence is convergent. Okay. Similarly, we can prove that if n is divergent, then am plus n is also divergent. That is, removal of finite number of terms will not alter the nature of the sequence. If it is convergent, again it is convergent. If it is divergent, again it is divergent. Next, one more theorem, small theorem. If limit of an as n tends to infinity equal to a, and an is greater than or equal to 0, then a greater than or equal to 0. So a is the limit, right? And here an greater than or equal to 0 means all the terms of the sequence are greater than or equal to 0. Then its limit is also greater than or equal to 0. This I have to prove. Again, we go for the contradiction method here. If possible, so I have considered this one. Okay, limit of an as n tends to infinity equal to a is given, and n is greater than or equal to 0 is given. I have to prove a greater than or equal to 0. Now, if possible, this is not true. That means here a less than 0. I am considering its negation here. So, if possible, a less than 0. Now, given epsilon greater than 0, there exists positive integer m such that an minus a is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. This is by the definition of the limit. Now here, since n is greater than or equal to 0 is given, and a is less than 0. So that is, if a is less than 0, then what happens here? This is positive here. And this a is less than 0 as I have considered. Minus of that negative term becomes a positive quantity. Therefore, this is a positive quantity. This is greater than 0. Okay, so this is greater than 0. Now, let n minus a is equal to something I will consider, say, delta. Okay, that n minus a is less than epsilon, I will consider, say, this is equal to delta. Now, we choose epsilon is less than this delta. Epsilon is arbitrary. I can take any epsilon here. I will choose epsilon is less than delta. Now, delta is equal to, what is delta here? Delta is an minus a. What is an minus a? An minus a is less than epsilon. Okay. And here, what is epsilon here? Epsilon is less than delta. I have chosen epsilon like this here. This is less than delta. Finally, what I am getting here is delta is less than delta. Okay. I am getting delta less than delta, which is a contradiction. I am getting this contradiction because of this assumption. If possible, a is less than 0 is wrong. Okay. So, therefore, a must be greater than 0. Greater than or equal to, I have to write here. Okay. This is greater than or equal to, I have to write, I'm sorry. Yeah, greater than or equal to 0. Next theorem. This theorem consisting of if limit of n as n tends to infinity equal to L, and limit of bn as n tends to infinity is equal to m, then show that number 1 is limit of an plus bn is equal to L plus m, their addition. Limit of an minus bn is equal to L minus m. And limit of their product, limit of an into bn is equal to L into m. And fourth one, limit of 1 by n is equal to 1 by L if L is not equal to 0. Okay. So if n limit of n is equal to L, then limit of its reciprocal is equal to reciprocal of the limit 1 by L. Fifth one, limit of an by bn is equal to L by m, where m is not equal to 0. Denominator is not equal to 0. Okay. Now, to prove this, limit of an equal to L, right? Then by the definition, given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer say m1 such that mod of an minus l is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m1. Okay. See, this is the theorem here. Given that limit of an is equal to L, limit of Bn is equal to M, then we have to prove that limit of An plus Bn is equal to L plus M, limit of An minus Bn is equal to L minus M, limit of An into Bn equal to L into M, limit of 1 by An equal to 1 by L, that is, and if L must not be equal to 0, and limit of An by Bn is equal to L by M, where M is not equal to 0. These 5 results we have to prove. For that, see, limit of N is equal to L, okay. Then, by the definition, given epsilon greater than 0, there exists positive integer M1 such that mod of An minus L is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to say M1. Similarly, limit of Bn is equal to M. Limit of Bn is equal to M. Again here given epsilon greater than 0, there exists say another integer say M2 such that mod of Bn minus M less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to M2. Now let me choose M to be the maximum of these two, M1 and M2. That is M is greater than or equal to M1, M is greater than or equal to M2. Then if I replace M1 and M2 here, then we will get here also, because M is greater than or equal to M1, M is greater than or equal to M2. Therefore, I can replace M1 and M2 by M, because they are true for greater than or equal to M1. Therefore, these results are true for greater than or equal to M also. So here I can replace M1 by M, and here also replace M2 by M. Then how we get? That is, we can write mod of An minus L is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to M. And mod of Bn minus M is less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to M. Okay. Now what is the first result? First result is limit of An plus Bn is equal to L plus M. For that, I will consider mod of An plus Bn minus L plus M. If I show that this is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to say M, then I can say that limit of this is equal to this. Okay. So this is equal to, I will write this as An minus L plus Bn minus M. Okay. An minus L plus Bn minus M. And I will write this as this is less than or equal to mod of this plus mod of this. So less than or equal to mod An minus L plus mod Bn minus M. What is this? This is less than epsilon. What is this? This is also less than epsilon. So this is equal to 2 into epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to M. And here as epsilon is arbitrary, therefore 2 into epsilon is also arbitrary. Therefore we can say that limit of An plus Bn is equal to L plus M. Similarly, second result is limit of An minus Bn is equal to L minus M. For that I will consider mod of An minus Bn minus L minus M. This is equal to An minus L minus Bn minus of minus plus. I have taken minus outside here. Bn minus M. Again I will write this mod of A minus B can be written as mod of A plus mod of B. So that is less than or equal to mod An minus L plus mod Bn minus M. And this is less than epsilon plus this is also less than epsilon. So this is equal to 2 times epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to M. And epsilon arbitrary, therefore this is also arbitrary. Therefore we can say that limit of this quantity is equal to this. That limit of An minus Bn is equal to L minus M. Next, third one, the product. Given that A and Bn both are convergent here, in particular Bn is convergent and we know that every convergent sequence is bounded. Therefore, this Bn is bounded. If Bn is bounded, then this lies between two numbers here. I can write minus k less than Bn less than k, or we can write mod of Bn is less than k. Okay, because Bn is bounded here. Next, consider, I have to prove that limit of this equal to Lm. Therefore, I will consider mod of this minus this. Here, what I do here is I will add one term and I will subtract one term. So that is here a and bn is here, minus Lm is also here. I am adding bnl and I am subtracting bnl. Or you can add anm, subtract anm. Then there also you will get the result here. So I am adding bnl and I am subtracting bnl. Now here, from these two, bn is common factor. So taking bn common factor, I will write an minus l. So bn common factor, an minus l, plus, in these two terms, l is common factor here, l common factor, then we get bn minus m. So this is bn minus m. I will write this as this is the modulus here, mod here. This mod is less than or equal to mod of this term plus mod of this term. So less than or equal to mod of an minus l into bn plus mod of bn minus m into l. Now, this is we can write this mod of this into mod of this. So mod of bn is here. Mod of an minus l is less than epsilon, because here an limit of n is equal to l. Therefore, this quantity is equal to epsilon here. This is less than epsilon, plus this mod l, I will keep this as it is here, and the limit of bn equal to m. Therefore, mod of bn minus m is less than epsilon. So this is less than. Here we have mod of bn is less than k. Alright, mod of bn is less than k. So mod of bn is less than k into epsilon plus this mod of l into epsilon. Epsilon is arbitrary. Therefore, this quantity is arbitrary. And this quantity is also arbitrary. Therefore, this whole quantity is arbitrary. Let me take, this is less than some epsilon 1. So that means what I put here is, given epsilon 1 greater than 0, there exists m such that an bn minus lm is less than epsilon 1. This proves that limit of an into bn is equal to l into m. So that is here, limit of an bn is equal to lm. Okay, next I will go to result number 4. That is, if limit of an is equal to L, I have to prove that limit of 1 by an equal to 1 by L. For that, I have to prove this here. What I need to prove here is, I have to prove this. If I prove that mod of 1 by an minus 1 by L is less than epsilon, this is true for all n greater than or equal to m, then we can say that limit of 1 by an is equal to 1 by L. So for that, I will do like this. Okay. Let mod L is equal to 2 into delta. Okay. Mod L is equal to some positive delta here. Because this mod is there, delta must be positive quantity, 2 delta. Now, limit of n as n tends to infinity is equal to L. That means for given delta we take epsilon, anything we can take. In particular, I will take epsilon equal to delta here. For given delta, there exists m1 such that n minus L is less than delta for all n greater than or equal to m1. Now, mod of an can be written as mod of an minus L plus L. Add and subtract L here. And here this can be written as this is within mod. I will write this as greater than or equal to mod of one quantity, this quantity, minus mod of other quantity here. Okay. So that is greater than or equal to mod L minus mod of an minus L. Right. This is greater than or equal to this one. And this is greater than mod L, I have taken it is equal to 2 into delta, right? And what about an minus L? An minus L is less than delta. Therefore, minus of an minus L is greater than minus delta. So here minus of an minus L is greater than minus delta. So what I am getting here, this side 2 delta minus delta, this is equal to delta. So finally, I have proved that mod of an is greater than delta. Then what about its reciprocal? 1 by mod an less than 1 by delta. Okay, I will take this as a 1, and this is true for all n greater than or equal to m1. Now again, limit of n as n tends to infinity is equal to L. For given anything I can take here. In particular, for my convenience, I am taking 2 delta square epsilon. Okay, this is arbitrary quantity. Given 2 delta square epsilon, there exists some m2 such that mod of an minus L is less than this. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m2. So that is mod of an minus L less than 2 delta square epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m2. I will take this as a 2. Again, I will take m to be the maximum of m1 and m2. Okay. So let me take m is equal to maximum of m1 and m2. So that is I can replace m1 by m2 by m here. Then what I am getting here is 1 by mod an less than 1 by delta, and here mod of an minus L is less than 2 delta square epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. Okay. Now I will consider this. This is what we have to prove. Now consider 1 by an minus 1 by L. This is equal to, taking an into L LCM here, we get L minus an, or an minus L we can write here, because we are in the mod of a minus b can be written as mod of b minus a. I am writing this as mod an minus L. Now I can take separate mod on numerator and denominator. Mod of an minus L, mod of an into L. This is equal to mod of an minus L. I can write this mod an mod L. What is this quantity? An minus L. An minus L is okay. An minus L is here. Mod of an minus L, yeah, less than 2 delta square epsilon. And 1 by mod n is less than 1 by delta. And we have one more thing here. I have taken mod L equal to 2 into delta. Using all these here, that is, mod of an minus L is less than 2 delta square epsilon. Okay. And mod an, 1 by mod n is less than 1 by delta. And we have mod L is equal to 2 delta. Therefore, 1 by mod L is equal to 1 by 2 delta. Now, 2 gets cancelled. Delta into delta square gets cancelled. This is equal to epsilon. And this is true for all n greater than or equal to m. So what we proved here is mod of 1 by an minus 1 by L less than epsilon. This is true for all n greater than or equal to m. What this shows? Limit of this is equal to 1 by L. So limit of 1 by an is equal to 1 by L. Now to prove the last result, we use result number 3 and result number 4. Okay, limit of an equal to L and limit of bn is equal to m. By result number 4, this just we have proved here. What about 1 by bn? It is equal to 1 by m. Okay, limit of bn equal to m. Therefore, limit of 1 by bn equal to 1 by m. What is result number 3? If limit of an equal to L, limit of bn equal to m, then limit of an into bn is equal to L into m. Okay, so here we have limit of an equal to L. Limit of 1 by bn equal to 1 by m. Then limit of an into 1 by bn is equal to L into 1 by m. What is an into 1 by bn? It is nothing but an by bn equal to L into 1 by m means this is nothing but L by m. So this we are proving this result number 5 using result number 3 and using result number 4. Okay. Thank you. I will stop here.